Welcome to Barrel Engine. What do we have here? This is a Ford 6.4 liter Power Stroke crankshaft, and today we're going to weld it so we can stroke it out. We're going to weld it with this, our submerged arc crankshaft welder. Crankshaft welding is a time-consuming and therefore expensive process, and it only makes sense in certain situations. This is an example of one of those situations. This is a billet tractor pulling crankshaft. Some of these crankshafts are tens of thousands of dollars. So when we've got a spun rod journal, which we do in the case of this John Deere 466 crank, welding it back up and then grinding it back to standard size makes all sorts of sense. Another situation where it makes sense to weld a crankshaft is this. This is a 1931 Chevrolet 194 cubic inch engine crankshaft. Cranks like this are getting harder and harder to find. So if we have a damaged journal on this, it makes sense to weld it up and grind it back to standard. This will be my last example of reasons why it makes sense to weld a crankshaft. Bearing sizes. If we've got a crank like this MAN V12 1550, big marine crankshaft, or this Mercedes-Benz 936, or this Komatsu PC400 excavator engine crank, and the bearing sizes are limited on the market, we may get in a situation where if the crank needs work, we're going to need to weld up the journal so we can grind it back down to standard, because standard bearings may be all that are available. Before we get into our crankshaft welding project, let me cover some things we can't do with a crankshaft welder, or at least not do very well. One would be to repair a broken crankshaft. The reason is, while we could get it to stick together with a weld around it, we're never going to be able to get that weld through the material enough to give it enough strength where a crankshaft with all the stress that goes through wouldn't break. The other thing that we shy away from is repairing cracks in crankshafts. While we could grind out a crack, it's our experience that cracks go well beyond what we can visibly see. And in that circumstance, once we've filled the weld back in, reground that crankshaft, there's a reasonable chance it will continue to crack, get worse, and eventually break. Which is why our first step in the process is to magnaflux the crankshaft to make sure that it doesn't have any cracks. We'll be making a video on that process, so if you'd like to see that, please subscribe to our channel. We have our Power Stroke Stroker project loaded up in our crankshaft welder. This welder uses offset chucks, similar to that of a crankshaft grinder. Those allow us to shift the axis so it's centered on the rod journal. That's why you see it running true to the connecting rod axis instead of the main center line of the crank. We've gone through and plugged the oil galleys so that weld debris doesn't get into those passages. We'll still need to reopen and chamfer those holes afterwards, but it keeps the process much cleaner and gives us a better end result. Let's talk a little bit about what we're doing here. This is the main journal, which has a fixed center line, and this is the rod journal. The distance between those two is the crankshaft's radius, which we call the throw. To increase stroke, we need to increase that distance. We're going to increase the throw by offset grinding this crank. In offset grinding, we remove material from the rod journal on the side that's closest to the main journal center line, and as little as possible from the far side, just enough to clean it up. That shifts the rod journal center line away from the mains, which increases the throw, which results in an increase in stroke. The downside to offset grinding is that it reduces the diameter of the rod journal, and in this case, to achieve the added stroke we want, it would make the journal too small. So we need to add material to the far side of the rod journal, and that's why we're welding this crank. We're building up the far side, the side away from the main center line, by stacking up layers of weld. Then we'll offset grind the crank. That combination moves the rod journal center line outward and increases the stroke. Our crankshaft welder is a submerged arc welder. It uses a continuous wire electrode that forms an arc beneath a blanket of granular flux. That flux shields the weld, controls oxidation, and helps produce a high quality result. This is a slow and controlled process. After each pass, the slag has to be removed before continuing. We control the rotation speed of the crank and control the wire feed speed, which determines how much material we're putting down. And we set the voltage on the welder, which controls the arc and helps determine how deep the weld penetrates into the journal. The welder does have an automatic step-over feature, which moves the crank sideways, so each bead is laid next to the previous one. But since we're only welding one side of the rod journals, we have to manually jog it after each pass to place the weld exactly where it needs to be. There can't be any gaps between the welds. The first beads are laid along the edge of the journal to cover the radius. That area is critical. We want a tight bead right along that edge. From there, we continue laying bead after bead until the journal is fully covered. And then we will repeat the process for a second layer. Well, at this stage, we've completed the welding of the remainder of the journals. We've got it in our heat blanket. It's actually pretty warm still, but I wanted to give you a peek at where we're at. We put it in this fireproof blanket to allow it to cool slowly. That avoids excess warpage and it decreases the possibility of it cracking. So we've completed the welding part of this project, but there's still a lot left to do. Next, we'll offset grind the crank to a rough size. Then we'll straighten the crank to remove any runout that has been caused from the heat of welding it. After that, we'll grind it to final size, and then we'll polish it to spec. If you'd like to see videos on offset grinding, crankshaft straightening or polishing, or any other engine machining or engine building topics, please leave a comment below and subscribe to our channel. Barrel Engine, engines done right.